All right, welcome to our Leaders Retreat and Super Saturday recap. This is the first year that Plexus has merged these two totally different events together. So Leaders Retreat is something that's earned, and it's a time for people to grow in their leadership. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but Plexus is very much about investing in you so that you become a better leader. And that doesn't just mean within your organization or within your business, it means in all arenas of your life. Plexus is about making you feel more confident, learning more, loving more, just being a solid person that's happy. And that makes a big difference in the world. So Leaders Retreat had a lot about pouring into us as leaders. And Super Saturday is one of those events that really kicks off your whole year, allows you to start becoming a CEO of your own business so that you are actually doing the things, that you actually have a plan and you have tools and really fun announcements. So we had a brand new Joyome cleanser come out. And so I love it. Anybody have sensitive skin? If you do, put a 1 in the comments, because my skin is so sensitive, it's ridiculous. And so Joyome is literally the only thing I've ever been able to use that I don't have a bad reaction to. So if you don't have the cleanser yet, get your hands on it. All right, so I'm going to share with you. Cheryl has sensitive skin. She's like the only other person on the whole Zoom. I love it. I'm going to share my screen really quick because I want to show you the thing that I really, really, really took away from this. I have to move everything out of the way, open up my virtual office. Okay, so if you go into your virtual office and you go under Resource Library, so literally under the Training Center, you see Resource Library, then you slide down to where it says Recruit and Onboard. If you click on View the Tools, this is something I think could be an amazing tool for each one of you. So they're going to be putting this into the app, but here's what turns out. Every new person's been getting an email that they actually, the top of it says something about like, welcome to the family. There's a video, there's a little bit more. And then at the bottom, so I feel like it could be easily missed, it says something to the effect of, with Plexus, there are so many beautiful opportunities, and explains to them, which one would you like to do? Would you like to walk, run, or sprint? And the person is going to be able to choose one of those paths. Problem is, you as the sponsor don't know what they chose. So if you know about this email, you can say to them, hey, be on the lookout for an email. And I can even write in the chat once I look it up what the subject line is and say, I want you to decide, do you want to walk, run, or sprint? And if they tell you their answer, come on down here with me. It actually shows you, let's say they chose to walk. Plexus will then kick back a series of emails to them. Let me see how many there are for this one. So this is the walk. So the first one might have this little video. Second, here it is, 7 emails. Let's walk. So they're going to get all of these different emails, and you're able to see what they get, and it walks them through it. There's even the sponsor checklist. Look right here. Okay, so there's the walk, sponsor checklist for the walk, and you ask them, and actually you could just use this on its own. I have to turn my head sideways, sorry. Connect with the ambassador to discuss their goals. If you do it, check. Watch Why Plexus with Dr. Logan and how to start your product videos. Check. So if you feel like you don't exactly know how to direct your new ambassador, maybe that's a good place to start. Grab that checklist. And honestly, even if the person says, I don't want to work a business, they do want to talk to you about their goals. So you do that. Then you might say, hey, I want you to watch this video because this scientist, he worked with NASA. He is all about Plexus. And I feel like that's going to help you want to stay consistent on the products. Send them that Dr. Logan video. Slowly but surely, I call it Plexus dating. You are literally pulling them on in. Come on in. That's what you're doing. And it works. So I'm going to actually turn this all over because I want you guys to hear some of the things that were takeaways from some people on our team. I know for me, we had 15 people in my home, and I forgot how starved I was for connection. And it was so nice to hear from all of these friends of mine that I haven't seen face to face. I hope you understand the beautiful gift that we have in the community with Plexus. I really do mean that. So I want you guys to know that this place is for you, no matter who or what you are. Well, you're not a what. No matter who you are, this place is for you. And we will always have a seat at the table for each one of you. So I'm going to turn this over to Tara Eldridge. She's an Emerald ambassador, and she's going to share with you her greatest takeaways. And I'm going to mute myself.
Sure. Can you hear me? Yay! Hi, guys. I'm Tara Eldridge. I am actually a Sapphire ambassador. That feels so weird coming out of my mouth because this time last year I was gold. So I am just super humbled and honored to be with you guys tonight and sharing with you what my main takeaways from Leaders Retreat were. I'm going to share with you guys about Dr. Cloud and what he spoke to us about. Did you guys love him? I just could have listened to him all day long. I saw some of the other chats, they were calling him Uncle Henry. And I was like, yes, Uncle Henry, he was like my hero. And so I want to share with you guys three main things from Dr. Cloud that just really inspired me and just lit a fire under me. The first thing that he talked about was relationships, and I'm huge on relationships. I used to be a teacher, and now I am in full time ministry. And this is what I preach to my team members all day and all night long is just the importance of relationships, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the reason that this is called network marketing and not just marketing is because your network of friends, your network of people trust you. They could go to Amazon and buy their supplements, but they're coming to you because you are their friend. And so Dr. Cloud just talked about that concept of, he said this was money. He said you can be great at good things but be horrible at being a good person. I'm going to say that again. You can be great at good things but be horrible at being a good person. So, in other words, when you're approaching people, when you're approaching your new customers or ambassadors, or even your leaders, are you getting straight to the point and talking all about Plexus and all about the things that they need to do or the things that you need from them? Or are you nurturing that relationship? Are you leaving people better than you found them? Are they a better person, a better leader, a better wife, a better mom because of that relationship and what you have poured into them? So make sure that you remember that part of network marketing, that we're walking in integrity, and we're keeping that relationship, because at the end of the day, people are going to jump in and out of Plexus, and you don't want to burn any bridges. You want your friends to still be your friends at the end of their journey or their season, because we also know that sometimes people come back around at the end. If they jump out after a few months, if they still have that connection with you, when they come back around to their goals again, they're going to want to jump back in with you. So relationships, first thing. Second thing was the concept of boundaries. Dr. Cloud wrote a book called Boundaries that we have used in our ministry multiple times. As women, I think we sometimes struggle with the N word. Do you know what the N word is, Jen? It's no. We struggle with saying no. You got it. You get a gold star. And I think it's because of that people pleasing nature that sometimes we feel pressured that we have to say yes to everybody and be all things to all people. Well, when we set boundaries, it helps us stay healthy, and it also helps our people to be healthy and grow. And so my favorite example that Dr. Cloud shared was the idea of this baby bird that's hatching out of its egg. Do you remember that example? He was talking about how, like, if you see a little bird that starts to hatch from its egg, I have a neighbor that raises chickens, okay? Not chickens, some kind of other bird, pheasants. Like, they're obsessed with these birds. And so they have these little eggs in this incubator. And we were over at their house and we saw these little birds like pecking out of their shells. And it was like hours we were there and they still hadn't come out. And I'm like, can you, give them a little boost there? Can you help them out? And they're like, no, you absolutely can't touch them or they won't survive. So in my mind, I'm thinking, it's germs or, the mom won't touch them. If you've touched them or something, that's just my concept of why I thought they wouldn't survive. But Dr. Cloud explained it as if you don't allow that bird to overcome the obstacle of their shell, then they don't have that grit and determination that it takes to overcome the things that they're going to experience in the real world. What? And how many times do we limit people by cracking that shell open for them? Here, you don't have time. It's okay. Let me do it for you. Oh, I know you're busy. I'll just send you the link myself. Versus empowering people to find those answers. We have group chats for a reason, right? I can't be your Plexus Google. I will help you. I will help point you in the right direction. But unless you learn for yourself, that you can, I'm going to push you out of that nest and let you fly, because when you see that your wings work, then you're going to be able to do the same thing for others and help them fly as well. So we can't be the ceiling on our people and their growth by cracking that shell open for them. And I was sharing with Jen the other day when we were chatting about this. So we came off of Leaders Retreat this weekend, and on Monday I had a brand new intern. And so she, this brand new intern, so green, didn't know anything about any of the things that we needed to do, kind of like a brand new Plexus ambassador. And there were all of these things that we needed to teach her. I mean, you think about a newbie with Plexus, they need to know all about the ingredients. They need to know about the systems. They need to learn their back office. They need to learn what to say, what not to say. They need to learn compliance. Oh my gosh, you can't say this and you can say that. And it's like this overwhelming, all of the things, right? And so I looked at her and I said, you're going to be learning a lot of things, but I need you to know that we are not going to crack open your shell for you. And so I shared the analogy with her, and she was like, yes, don't crack open my shell. I can do this. And so every time we shared something new with her for her to learn, she was writing it down. Don't do it for me. I can do this. And so from the beginning, we set her up for success. We empowered her. Hey, we believe in you. We believe that you can be successful without me. I'm going to hold your hand for a little bit and I'm going to help you, but then I'm pushing you out of that nest because I believe that you can do it. So that belief in people and setting that boundary so that they actually can become more successful on their own. I thought that was money. And then the third thing, do I have time for the third thing, Jen? Okay. I told her, just cut me off. I tend to talk a lot. But the third thing that, oh my gosh, it was so good. He was talking about stress and burnout. And if you think about our Plexus business, if you've been around very long, I've been in the Plexus business for 3 years. So I've seen the roller coaster that it can be. As I told you guys, I was gold last spring and hit sapphire by the end of the year. And then, or by August, September, and then November and December was this crazy downward spiral again. And here we are, January, heading back up. So it's it's the momentum. It's small business in general, 2020 in general, life in general. Times can be hard, and we can become stressed. We can be burnout. I see some of you guys shaking your head. You know what I mean? And so he shared the analogy of the monkeys. And so if you guys did anybody hear the analogy of the monkeys? I thought it was so clever. So they did this experiment on this monkey, and he was in this cage, and they exposed him to these things that would be cause psychological stress for him, loud sounds and lights and banging and those kinds of things. And then they measured the stress hormone that was in the monkey's body, and he was really stressed out. Right? I mean, does anybody that's not on Vital Biome wake up feeling stressed out sometimes? I have 4 kids. I have 3 big kids, 15, 13, and 10. And then I have a bonus baby who just turned 1. So my life is crazy. And some days I wake up feeling like the monkey. So what they did in this experiment was they opened the cage and they added this little friend monkey in the cage. And that's it. That's the only thing that they changed. They did the same scary sounds and lights and all of the noises. And then they measured the stress hormone. And guess what? the stress hormone level was cut in half just by adding a friend to the cage. And so he asked this amazing question: who is your monkey? And so if you don't have a monkey in your Plexus business, you need to find one, because you're going to need, if you're going to sustain the ebbs and flows of being in small business and network marketing, you're going to need somebody who's going to deal with the stress with you, who's going to talk you off the ledge and say, it's okay. It's December. Every December's rough. January's coming. We're going to climb up the mountain again, and it's going to be okay. And my monkey is not in my direct upline or downline. She's a sideline. We do ministry together. We do life together. We do Plexus together. And whenever life gets crazy, she's my monkey and I'm hers. And it's going to help us sustain the long haul in whatever we face. So find your monkey and don't crack open the shell for people, empower them, and then leave people better than you found them. So that's Dr. or Uncle Henry, as we like to call him, Dr. Cloud in a nutshell.
I almost could say that you might have shared Henry Cloud better than Henry Cloud shared Henry Cloud. That was that good. I mean, you endeared me to you so much. Thank you for that. It was so good. So good. And I hope you guys are encouraged to go and read and listen. Henry Cloud has a great podcast as well, too. Perfect.
Well, good.
All right. I'm going to pass it over to Heather Langford. She's going to share with us her takeaways.
Thank you.
And I were together at my house. So we said what happens at Jen's house stays at Jen's house.
Yes. So we had a great time at Jen's house. It was a wonderful weekend. I'm just going to give you a few things that I took away on failing forward. So I'm Heather Langford. I'm a Gold Ambassador. I too have been with Plexus 3.5 years now, and hoping to continue to move, not hoping, I am going to continue to move forward in my business and grow. If you've never earned Leaders Retreat, y'all, I definitely encourage that you earn it. This was my first time earning Leaders Retreat, and it was well worth being canceled in Arizona and taking the trip to Nashville. So a couple quotes that I will say that were amazing. The first one was, the best you'll ever be at a weakness is average, but the best you can be at a strength is extraordinary. And that was by John Addison. So, we tend to focus a lot on our weaknesses, but we need to focus more on our strengths. The next thing was, the difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. And that was by Bill Phillips. And I know that my friend Angela is going to talk about Jessica Heffley, but Jessica Heffley also said to take your income level and to match your dreams. Don't bring your dreams down to your income level. And so that ties into that quote. The difference between who you are now and who you want to be is what you do. So if you put in the work, where you want to go in your dreams, you can get there. Stay true to your core. You will always face challenges, but do not let them stop you. Help the people around you become better and create a bright future for yourself. There was a percentage that said 90% of all who fail are not actually defeated. They simply quit. And then on that turn, when you don't give up, you cannot fail. So bottom line, guys, no matter where you're at today, no matter where you want to be, as long as you put forth the work, you work on yourself to grow, you don't quit, you can't fail. Because the only way to fail is if you completely quit. So there is that. Thank you, Jennifer, for a wonderful weekend. I'm going to pass it over to my friend Angela, and she's going to share with you all what we learned from Jessica Heffley.
Hey, y'all. Hey, oh my goodness. This has been already so good, but it was so good. It was so good to be together, to have community. And I was so excited that I had an opportunity to talk about Jessica Heffley, because come on, like, she is the epitome of joy. Anybody? Like, just watching her, just hearing her, she's just so happy and free. And I love her personality. That even spoke to me. Just her personal engagement and appearance on it just spoke to me. All right. So, but what we want to talk about with her is, how do you build your dreams from an abundance mindset, right? And it's interesting because we get ourselves in these places that we say, this is what I deserve. This is what I'm going to have, right? So she takes us to this totally different place, and I love it. And she does it in stages. And stage 1 was to create your vision. That's why we say, what is your why? Create your vision board. Give a place that says, this is my vision for what I want to be. It doesn't matter. There's no limits on this. There's nothing that you have to achieve here. It's just like, what's your grandest idea of what you want, right? And then stage 2 is be aware. Be aware. Think about that word aware. This is going to be a huge part of what we're talking about right now, is be aware of how your beliefs about money can kind of hold you back or take you forward in that, okay? And then stage 3 is that you attract other people by your confidence in the business. Who has confidence in this business? Who believes in these products? Who believes in this business and the opportunity for people to change their ever-loving lives? I know Jennifer can say, she saw me when I didn't believe, when I didn't even have a clue. I didn't have a clue what was available for me. Okay. I didn't even know what I was walking into. All right. And then stage 4 is that you enjoy. You have the opportunity to enjoy what you've worked hard for. Who wants to do that? I want to do that. I want to enjoy what I worked for, right? So the first thing, so the big thing that she wanted to say is that we have to overcome scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset, and it will worm its way into everything in our lives that it can, okay? Because it's negative mindset. So the definition, okay, of scarcity mindset is belief that there will never be enough, that results in us having feelings of fear and stress and anxiety, okay? So that's scarcity mindset. All right, now let's flip it. And I love what she did. She was like, did you like that, Jennifer? It was hysterical. Okay. So she says, okay, now we're talking about abundance mindset. Okay. So that flows from a deep inner. Can we all say inner? Can everybody say inner with me? Deep inner belief. Okay. And sense of personal worth, security, grounded in belief that there's more than enough. There's more than enough. And doesn't that correct so many things in our lives? Not just about this, but so many things. There's more than enough. There's room at the table. I love how Cheryl Muller's my upline, and she always says there's room at our table. There's more than enough, and I'm always a, bigger, better, come on, everybody join us type of person. Like there's no limit on, if you want to come on, girl, come on. Right. And that's abundance mindset. Okay. So the thing is that the number one thing about this is that you have to have awareness around if you have scarcity mindset or if you have abundant mindset. Okay. You have to be aware. Do you feel anxiety, fear, and dread? Or do you feel worthiness, peace, and joy? Right? It's that simple. It really is that simple. So, and you can literally feel it in your body. Anybody? You can feel this in your body. And I love that she said that because we can feel it. We can feel it. When I have stress, anxiety, fear, I have this pressure. I feel like it's pressing down on me, right? Versus when I'm in worth, peace, and joy and security, right? So she related it to building a house, okay? And I have built a house. I'm standing in the office of a house that my husband and I built 3 years ago. Actually, we started building it right as I started getting better, physically better on my journey. So this really connected with me. And I told Jennifer, I'm like, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So she says, you have to lay the foundation. You have to lay the foundation. And then the second thing is that you have to provide the funding. Somebody's got to pay it, right? Somebody's got to fund the loan, do all the things, right? Then you have to hire the right people to build for you, the contractors, The people that are going to do the work, you got to have the right ones. And then you get the opportunity to live in it and enjoy it, right? So you got to go through those things. But how does it really play out in our lives? The way it plays out is in our thoughts. In our thoughts. So I want you to think for a second. What kind of thoughts do you have? Do you have thoughts that say, I'm not good enough? I can't do what she did. I'll never get there. Right? It's never going to happen for me. If you're having those thoughts, that's where you have to capture those thoughts and make them what you want them to be. So you ask yourself about awareness. Is this thought process that I'm having, is it bringing me, it's super simple. Let's just come here for a second. It's really simple. Do you have fear, stress, and anxiety? Or do you have worth, joy, and peace? It's that simple. It really, really is. And that's how you line up your thoughts. So she says stage 1 is the foundation. And when we bring this back to our Plexus business, we say, okay, this is your vision board. This to me is your why. Why are you doing this? What vision do you have for your family, for your future, for your legacy, right? And then stage 2 is your beliefs. I can do this. If she can do it, I can do it. Not, I'll never get there. If she can do it, I can do it. There's enough room at the table for me. I am enough. I can do this. Okay? That's stage 2 in the building process. Now, I want to talk to you for a second about stage 3. I want to talk to you about this. Confidence. Confidence. Confidence comes from a deep inner belief, not a surface level belief that says, yeah, girl, I got this. Yeah, I can do it. No, this is something deeper that you sit with yourself and you say, I am going to do this. I am going to achieve this. Right? So scarcity in this place says, nobody's joining me. Everybody's leaving me. I'll never build this. Right? That's scarcity. Abundance says, I have got this. I know, and I'll tell you what my abundance mindset told me in this stage of the game for me is that in a year from now, I know that this is what I'm going to be doing. Doesn't matter to me what anybody thinks about me. Doesn't matter what anybody says. In a year from now, I'm going to be doing this. And then that year went to 3 years, obviously. And now I'm like, I'm a lifer. I'm going to be doing this until Jesus comes back. I don't care what y'all are doing, but I'm drinking my pink drink. I don't care. Right? So that's confidence. It's confidence in saying, like, if I drink my pink drink, I'm going to feel better. If I do this and I share this with people, my income is going to improve and I'm going to have an incredible business. It's confidence. Okay. And then the last one is stage 4, which honestly, I am so grateful. Just being, not just, but being a Sapphire ambassador, I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. I'm enjoying the hard work that I've put in. I'm enjoying it. So enjoying it. So what I want to tell you is every stage that you get in, enjoy that. Congratulate yourself, celebrate yourself. Be proud of yourself because you're doing something that less than 2% of the people in this company ever do. So congratulations and keep your awareness high. How are you feeling?
Gosh, you're calming. I'm listening to you and I'm literally thinking, I feel worth, peace, and joy. Seriously, you are a gift. And I want you to know something too. It's Jessica Heffley, when she started this business, she had terrible money mindset. She had terrible scarcity thoughts. And it was because of Plexus that she began to research and understand. And I hope you all know that Plexus is that open door for you to really begin to experience worth, peace, and joy, because you have an awareness, like you just shared. That was Joanna just said that. I agree. Read the comments. See what she said. She said, Angela needs to be a speaker at convention. And that is the truth. It is true. Was anyone else in a weird what's the word? A hypnotic state? That's where I was. Really good. Thank you so much. And we're going to end it out with Joanna Miller. She's going to share with us. Thank you guys, by the way, for committing to coming on to this. Each one of you have been amazing speakers. I appreciate it.
Hey, you all. Oh my goodness. Leaders Retreat, Super Saturday were so good. Even virtually, like Plexus events are my favorite. And I always come away so inspired and encouraged and ready to just like go for all the goals and all the dreams. So thank you, Jennifer, for asking me to share my takeaways. There were so many takeaways and I loved what all the ladies shared, and oh my goodness, so good. So I have a few different ladies that I'm going to share my takeaways from, a few of the diamonds who shared on there. The main one is Brenda Croft. I love her story and I relate a lot to her story. So she is Australia's first diamond. But it took her 7 years to go diamond, and she didn't even have social media when she started, which I didn't either. So I love her story because I relate a lot to it. She said, you guys, she said that it took her 2 years before she got a business builder. 2 years. Like, can you imagine if she would have stopped? Because that's discouraging not to have a business builder and do it on your own for 2 solid years. But she gave so many different things. But one of her main things was trust the process. Like you do the action steps and then the fruit will come. You just have to trust the process. And there's the quote today during a training I'm doing with Brooke Hemingway that said, don't focus, or how did it go? It was something like, don't judge your day by the fruit that you see, judge it by the seeds that you plant. And I love that because that is what we should focus on. And there's a verse in Zechariah that talks about don't despise the day that, don't despise, what is it? The day of small things. And so often I think we can just discredit what we got done that day, or we didn't see anything happen and we worked so hard. And so we're like, well, what's the point? Let's just take the rest of the week off, not having any results anyway. But no, just focusing on the actions, that are proven to work because you hear them from your uplines who are successful, and trusting the process. And you're going to see that fruit. I mean, she's a diamond now and she's so glad she didn't quit, even though it took her 7 years. I love the quote too, that says the grass is always greener where you water it. So good. And I was thinking about that when she was talking about the scarcity mindset, because it's so easy to look at a different company or look at whatever, and then you're not focusing on what you need to be doing. And if you're not focusing on what you need to be doing, of course, you're not going to see results. So just staying the course, being consistent, and you're gonna see your goals happen. So that was my takeaway from her. But then I also had another takeaway from Carla Monroy, I think is how you say her name, but she was just talking about how celebrate every victory. And that's something we can, if we're newer or we don't have a lot of business builders, or maybe not a lot of strong business builders, it can be, or a slower month, so people aren't doing as much that month. It can be easy to just be like, well, there's nothing to shout people out about, so I'm not shouting anyone out. But it's really important to focus on the action and not always the results too, but just finding any and all ways to celebrate victories in your own business, like in your own, what you're doing, but then also more importantly, your team, and just really celebrating them. It could be an amazing post. It could be that they just ordered their second month of products, which is a huge deal. If people can order that second month, that's a huge win. And so just finding ways to shout people out publicly, and privately too, but most importantly, publicly is important because a lot of people aren't getting that at home or with their circle of people, and they crave it. And it just really makes a huge difference, even if you think it might be a small thing, but to them, it's going to be a huge thing. So you can shout them out in your stories. You can shout them out in the chat that you're in, on your team page, on their own Facebook, like however, but celebrating every victory. And then Melissa Shaver, I just really loved her too. She talked about your routine, like your morning routine and your night routine. And she talked about how a good nightly routine is key for a successful tomorrow. And that's something I'm working on. Like I feel like a lot, but it's so important. If you just even take 15 minutes and think about like how your day is going to go tomorrow and like setting yourself up for success rather than just like collapsing into bed and rolling out of bed and then your day kind of goes crazy. At least if you're a mom. So a nightly routine is really important. And then also filling up your cup in the morning so that you can fill others up. Because if you're on empty, you're not going to be able to pour into others. And who else has fallen into that trap where, especially me, I mean, I have a ton, or if you're in like high momentum as well, you can do this, or just in that really like crazy building stage where you like, as soon as you get up or in the middle of the night, you're checking your phone, you're answering messages. That is not good to do all the time. I mean, there's some seasons, you know, if it's the end of the month, hey, you know what, anything goes. But as far as for the majority of the time, it's so important to fill your cup in the morning before you do anything else, however that means for you. For me, it looks like having my devotions, getting in a quick workout, and even if it's like 5 minutes, YouTube has the best 5-minute workout videos. I love them. And I always feel like good about myself if I even get a 5-minute workout and it's better than nothing. And so a devotion and getting in a workout for me, and then it's just easier to pour into others and have a better day where you don't just feel like you're stretched thin constantly because it's just like as soon as you wake up, it's just like, you know, from just the morning to the night, you're just going crazy. And so it really does help a ton. And today, this kind of goes back to, I'm ending with this, but this kind of goes back to Brenda Croft's story and her journey. But today I was checking my, or I was on my email and I saw that you got paid email. And I was like, oh, yay. And I had forgotten that. So when you're an Emerald or above, you get to choose a lifestyle bonus or a Lexus bonus each month. And I chose the lifestyle bonus. It comes in cash. And so, and I always forget, well, a lot of times I forget they pay those out to you following your paycheck. So once you get paid, I tend to forget that that comes following a couple days later. And then also there's Leaders Retreat cash that was paid out today as well that I had forgotten about. And so today, and I started crying when I saw my email because it was just really I was so grateful because it was almost exactly what we used to make in an entire month. Just from those extra bonuses, not even my main paycheck. I had completely forgotten about it. And it was just so mind blowing. And I'm just so grateful I stuck it out because I've been with Plexus for 6 years now. And it can be really discouraging to see other people flying through the ranks. And you hear these crazy stories where people go like, boom, from gold to sapphire, Tara. No, that's amazing. And it's incredible. But that's never been my story. And it can be, and even my power partners who are like my best friends, they're diamond. And I'm like, what about me? And it can be really hard. And you can compare yourself and wonder like, oh, man, am I ever going to get to where I'm going? But you will, if you just stay the course, focus on the action, focus on the things you need to be doing, you know, to be doing, be consistent, don't quit, leave the results up to the Lord. You've got this. So have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Good night, everybody.